Hey knowledgeable, welcome to today's session. So today we would be looking into some more geometrical shapes. That is, we would be looking into the curves, polygon, and angles. So let's see what is curve. Curve in everyday usage means not straight, a line or shape that is smoothly traced in a plane and has a bend or arc in it. So if you see all these shapes which is given here as an example are not straight. So we can call these as curves. So here are some real life example of curves. So if you see this road is not straight. This is a curve. In the same way, if you see this chain is also not straight. So we can call it as curve. In the same way, if you see the symbol for McDonald, this is not a straight. So we can call it as a curve. So let's see what is a simple curve. A curve does not cross itself, then it is called a simple curve. So if you see here, no line is crossing each other. So this is called a simple curve, and this is also a simple curve. So if you take this one, so this we can't call it a simple curve. So this because here the line are crossing. So this is not a simple curve, but these are simple curves. So here, if you see the real life example, if you see the portion of this road, right from here to here, so this is not crossing each other. So we can call it as a simple curve. So let's see what is an open curve. An open curve does not enclose any area within itself and has two endpoints. So if you see this has two endpoints, this and this, so we can call this as a open curve. In the same way, this figure also has two endpoints. One is here, one is here. So this we can call it as a open curve. In the same way, this figure also has two endpoints. So one is here, another is here. So we can call it as a open curve. So here is the some example of open curve. So if you see banana, right? So this is also an example an open curve because this has two endpoints. And if you just connect these two endpoints, so it is an open curve. In the same way, if you see the portion of this road, right, from here to here, so this has two endpoints and we can call it as an open curve. Let's see what is a closed curve. A closed curve has no endpoints and encloses an area or a region. So if you see this figure, so this has doesn't have any endpoint. So you just keep on looping, right? So you can't tell that this is an endpoint or this is an endpoint. And this also encloses an area inside it. So this is called a closed curve. In the same way here, this encloses an area. So this is a closed curve. So all the figures here, if you see, are enclosing some area. Like this one is enclosing this area, this figure is enclosing this area. So all these curves are closed curve. So a real life example is basically if you see this leaf. So leaf has a shape something like this, which doesn't have any endpoint and it also encloses the area inside it. So we can call it as a closed curve. If you see this cricket field, right? So this also is a round kind of structure which doesn't have any endpoint and it encloses some area inside it. So we can call it as a closed curve. So let's see what is the properties of a closed curve. A closed curve has three parts, that is interior. So if you see the point A is inside the curve, so it is interior. And if you see the point B that is on the boundary, that is on the curve, and there is an exterior that is outside of the curve. So if you see point C is outside the curve. And the interior of the curve together with the boundary is called region. So this is the boundary. This line signifies the boundaries. So and if you see this area inside this boundary, so this is called region. So what is a polygon? A figure is a polygon if it is a simple closed figure made up entirely of line segments. So if you see this one, right, so this is made up of three line segments. That is from here to here there's one line segment, from here to here there's another line segment, and from here to here this is another line segment. So it is made up of three line segments. So we can call it as a polygon. In the same way, if you see this one, the figure B has four segments. So if you see, this is one of the segment, the another is this one segment, the third is this one, and the fourth is this one. So we can call it as also a polygon. Similarly, if you see C, figure C has five segment. So this is one of the segment, the another segment is here, the another segment is here, this another segment is here, and another segment is here. So if you see, all this figure represent a polygon. So here are some of the real life example of polygon. So if you see, this currency is like a polygon. In the same way, this is foot mat is also in the form of polygon. So let's see some of the terminologies of polygon. So sides, the line segment forming a polygon are called its side. So if you see, this AB is side, BC is side, CD is side, D is side, and EA is side. What is vertex? The meeting point of a pair of sides is called its vertex. So if you see, this A, B, C, D, and E are the vertex. So what are adjacent sides? Any two sides with a common endpoint are called the adjacent side of the polygon. So if you see, AB and BC has one common point, that is called B. So we can tell AB and BC are adjacent sides. What is adjacent vertices? The end point of the same side of polygon are called the adjacent vertices. So if you see, E and D are the adjacent vertices because these are the two end point of the segment ED. What is diagonals? Line connecting the vertices which are not adjacent are called diagonal. So if you see, A and D are connected through this line, and A and D are not adjacent vertices, so we can call it as a diagonal. In the same way, B and D is connected by this line, so this line is B and D line is diagonal. Coming to the angle, so what is angles? These are geometrical figure formed by two rays meeting at a common endpoint. So if you see, this is a figure of a box, and if you see, this is a lead, and if you see, this AP is one of the ray and AD is another ray, and this is forming angle. So here if you see, this portion is called angle. So two rays AD and AP have a common initial point, that is A, and AD and AP are common arms or side of angle. So we can tell that AD and AP are the sides of the angle, and point A is called vertex of the angle. So how angles are denoted? So if you see, this is the angle, and here it is made up of two rays, that is OP and OQ. These are the two rays meeting at the point O. So we denote it as either coming from this side, that is POQ, and this is the angle sign. So angle POQ, either you can write, or you can also write it as angle QOP, means either going from QOP. This also makes the same angle. And if you see, point A is outside to the angle POQ, so A is outside the angle, B is on the angle, and point C is inside the angle. So all these regions are called inside the angle. So this is what I wanted to cover in this session. Thank you for watching this video.